we have a very complex tool stack. What I've seen in smaller companies with decentralized controls, what you can see is that the companies will tend to buy multiple solutions trying to solve for the same problem. We experienced that issue with our automation solutions. With the ones we had prior to buying Workato, we had experienced various levels of success. The tools we own were mostly designed to handle less complicated automations. Some were easy to use and we were able to see success, but others were either not very easy to use or we just didn't get the results from them that we had expected. Operation teams' headcount aren't going to grow at the same rate as the groups we support. So we have to do the most with what we have and eliminate our own mundane tasks plus the mundane tasks for the internal teams that we support. One way we consider doing that is by keeping them focused in the systems that they use the most often. For example, we love Salesforce. It's the backbone of a lot of things that we do in the go-to-market operations team and across the revenue team, of course. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we want our team spending all their time in Salesforce for every single task. In fact, as an operations team, we've decided that we'd really rather have them spending as much time as possible in Gong and in Slack and somewhat in email and minimal time everywhere else. So introducing automation would help us keep users from performing one or two tasks in systems that they only use a few times a week or a month and keep them in the systems where we want them spending their time. The answer for us became somewhat of a motto for the go-to-market operations team this year, and that is automate everything. Now, that doesn't mean that we are literally automating every single thing, but what that does mean is that we're planting a seed in the mind of every operations person to constantly be thinking about automation and what we should be automating and what will have the biggest impact. And we're actively discussing it all the time. First learning is the process needs to be the foundation. We're already extremely process-driven at Gong, and everything we will even consider automating needs to have a very clear and documented process behind it. Our customer success operations team, like I said earlier, had already realized the need for this process improvement and had spent several months mapping out the process with the business stakeholders, even before we knew we were going to be introducing automation into it. Secondly, don't underestimate the time investment to get an automation done right. I mean, as you could see, that one was quite a big, hairy set of processes that we wanted to automate. And it had quite a few moving parts, and it needed to be mapped out very carefully and tested very carefully within Workato. And then kind of to add to that for us, we were still working on our education internally of how to use Workato. And so it just made it a process where we had to be very detailed about it. The good thing is now we have some tribal knowledge within the organization and we've had some success. And so even though this was a very big goal and a bit of a complicated process, I don't think any of us regret doing it.